They disrespected you, they ignored you, and they made you feel small. Now you want revenge, but listen carefully, real revenge is not shouting, arguing, or proving them wrong. Real revenge is becoming untouchable, so their words, actions, and opinions no longer reach your mind. Stoic philosophy teaches that the strongest person is not the one who reacts, but the one who remains calm and focused. When you become untouchable, insults feel empty, betrayal feels distant, and negativity becomes irrelevant. You stop living for reactions, and you start living for growth, peace, and power. Most people live on autopilot when it comes to their emotions. Someone insults them, and they explode. Someone ignores them, and they feel worthless. Someone criticizes them, and they spend hours defending themselves. This constant reacting gives other people control over your mind. Stoics see this clearly. They believe that if someone can trigger your anger, fear, or need for approval, then you are not truly free. Reaction is not power, it is dependency. When you react instantly, you are letting the world decide how you feel, how you think, and how you behave. That is why mastering your reactions is the foundation of inner strength. When you stop reacting, something changes. Silence becomes a weapon. Calm becomes a shield. Instead of arguing, you observe. Instead of chasing validation, you become self-sufficient. Instead of explaining yourself to everyone, you choose who deserves your words. This does not mean you become cold or weak. It means you become selective, controlled, and strategic. People start to feel your presence without you raising your voice. Your calmness unsettles those who expected drama. Your silence makes others question themselves. In a world addicted to noise and emotional chaos, a calm mind feels powerful and rare. Becoming untouchable starts with mastering this discipline. You pause before reacting. You choose your response instead of letting emotions choose for you. You understand that most things are outside your control, but your mind is always yours. When praise does not inflate you and criticism does not break you, you become stable, grounded, and unshakable. This is the Stoic path, not to suppress emotions, but to rule over them. The moment you control your reactions, you take back your power, and no one can easily disturb your peace again. Emotional independence is one of the highest forms of power. Most people are trapped by the opinions of others. They feel happy only when praised, and they feel broken when criticized. They shape their actions to impress, to please, to fit in. This creates an invisible chain, where other people become the judges of their worth. Stoicism breaks this chain. It teaches that your value does not come from compliments, likes, or external validation. When you stop needing approval, you become free from manipulation, free from insecurity, and free from emotional slavery. When you detach your peace from other people's behavior, you become stable in a chaotic world. Someone may praise you, and you stay grounded. Someone may insult you, and you stay calm. Their words no longer control your mood, your confidence, or your decisions. This does not make you arrogant or cold, it makes you balanced. You begin to understand that people act from their own fears, ego, and experiences. Their opinions are reflections of them, not definitions of you. Stoicism teaches you to look inward for validation, to build self-respect from discipline, character, and personal growth, not from external applause. When you control your emotions, you control your destiny. Your reactions shape your choices, and your choices shape your life. A person who is emotionally independent is not easily distracted, provoked, or manipulated. They move with clarity, purpose, and inner strength. They do not beg for love, chase attention, or fear rejection. They walk their path with quiet confidence, knowing that their peace is self-built and self-protected. This is true freedom, the ability to stand firm, regardless of how the world treats you. Discipline is the quiet revenge because it speaks without noise. While others talk, complain, judge, and doubt, you stay focused on your path. You wake up early when others sleep, you train your mind when others scroll, and you build skills when others waste hours on distractions. No speeches, no arguments, no announcements, just silent progress. People rarely notice discipline in the beginning, but they always notice the results at the end. Your growth becomes the answer to every doubt and every insult you never reacted to. When you choose consistency over comfort, you separate yourself from the crowd. Discipline means doing what must be done even when you feel tired, unmotivated, or bored. It is showing up when no one is watching, when there is no applause, and when results are still far away. This quiet effort builds character, confidence, and inner respect. You no longer need to prove yourself with words because your habits prove everything. Your self-control becomes your strength, and your routine becomes your power system. You don't argue, you improve. You don't explain, you elevate. Instead of wasting energy defending yourself, you invest it in becoming better. Every workout, every hour of learning, every disciplined choice becomes a step above those who doubted you. Discipline is not about revenge on others, it is about victory over your old self. And when people finally see how far you've come, your silence, your progress, and your presence will say everything you never needed to say. Ego always wants to fight, to defend, to prove. It wants to show others that you are right and they are wrong. It craves recognition, respect, and victory in every conversation. But wisdom understands something deeper. Most arguments are distractions, and most insults are reflections of the other person's inner state. Stoicism teaches that peace is more valuable than proving a point. When you detach from ego, you realize that winning an argument often costs more than it gives. True strength is not in shouting louder, but in staying calm while others lose control. When you let go of ego, insults lose their power. Words only hurt when they touch something fragile inside you. If someone calls you names, criticizes you, or doubts you, your ego wants to react instantly. But wisdom asks, is this worth my peace? Most of the time, it is not. You begin to see insults as noise, not commands. You stop wasting energy on people who do not matter. Silence becomes your response, and inner stability becomes your shield. The more you detach, the less others can disturb you. Winning your mind is the greatest victory. Instead of trying to win debates, you win control over your emotions, thoughts, and impulses. A person who controls their ego cannot be manipulated by praise or destroyed by criticism. They are not easily provoked, flattered, or pressured. They move with clarity and purpose, guided by reason instead of pride. This is the Stoic ideal, mastery over self. When your ego no longer controls you, no one else can either. Pain is not your enemy, it is your harsh but honest teacher. Most people try to escape pain, avoid it, or numb it. But Stoics believed pain is part of life, and resisting it only makes it stronger. Betrayal shows you who to trust. Rejection shows you where you need to grow. Insults reveal both your weaknesses and your strength. Pain exposes reality without filters. It strips illusions and forces you to see yourself and others clearly. In this way, pain becomes information, and information becomes power. Hardship shapes character in ways comfort never can. Easy life builds weak minds, but struggle builds resilience, discipline, and wisdom. When things go wrong, you are forced to adapt, reflect, and improve. You learn patience, emotional control, and self-reliance. Each setback becomes a lesson, each failure becomes training, and each disappointment becomes preparation. Stoics saw difficulty as a forge, where the mind and character are tested and refined. The more pressure you survive, the stronger your inner foundation becomes. When you turn pain into power, you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as a student of life. Instead of asking, why me, you ask, what is this teaching me? Pain becomes fuel for growth, motivation for discipline, and energy for transformation. You become sharper in judgment, stronger in spirit, and more focused in purpose. This is what makes a person unstoppable. Not a life without pain, but a mind that uses pain to rise higher every time. Become unreachable to those who disrespect you. Not out of pride, but out of self-respect. When someone repeatedly ignores your worth, crosses your boundaries, or treats you as an option, continuing to chase them is a form of self-betrayal. Stoicism teaches that your time, energy, and presence are valuable. You are not meant to beg for attention, love, or basic respect. When you walk away from those who do not value you, you are not losing them, they are losing access to you. Distance is not punishment, it is protection. Stop explaining yourself to people who misunderstand you on purpose. Some people do not want clarity, they want control. They twist your words, doubt your intentions, and demand explanations not to understand you, but to keep you emotionally invested. Wisdom teaches you to recognize when communication becomes manipulation. You do not owe endless explanations to those who refuse to listen. Sometimes, the strongest response is no response. Silence is not weakness, it is a boundary that speaks louder than arguments ever could. When you step back, people feel your absence. Your silence creates space, and in that space, your value becomes visible. Those who took you for granted begin to notice what they lost. Those who disrespected you realize they no longer have access to your attention. Your silence becomes your message, your distance becomes your statement, and your absence becomes your power. You are not meant to be everywhere for everyone. You are meant to be present where you are respected, understood, and valued. That is the quiet power of becoming unreachable. Self-growth is the loudest revenge because it requires no announcement, no confrontation, and no explanation. While others waste energy talking about you, doubting you, or trying to pull you down, you stay focused on building yourself. Every book you read, every skill you learn, every habit you strengthen becomes a silent answer to their opinions. Progress does not argue, it proves. Success does not shout, it shows. When you grow in silence, your results become the voice that no one can ignore. While others gossip, you build. While others judge, you rise. Most people stay trapped in comparison, criticism, and distractions. They look outward instead of inward. But growth demands solitude, discipline, and patience. It means choosing long-term progress over short-term validation. It means improving your mindset, your health, your knowledge, and your character, even when no one is watching. This quiet work builds a presence that is naturally respected. You don't need to defend yourself, because your life becomes the evidence of your strength. Growth makes you untouchable because it changes how you see yourself. When you know your value, opinions lose their power. When you trust your path, criticism becomes noise. When you are committed to your evolution, negativity becomes irrelevant. Self-growth turns pain into purpose, doubt into discipline, and obstacles into stepping stones. In the end, the greatest revenge is not proving others wrong, it is becoming so focused on your evolution that their opinions no longer matter at all. Stoicism teaches a simple but powerful truth: your peace begins where your control ends. Most people suffer because they try to control what is uncontrollable, other people's opinions, behavior, decisions, and moods. They stress, argue, and overthink things that are completely outside their power. Stoics cut through this illusion. They divide life into two categories: what is in your control and what is not. You cannot control how people treat you, what they think, or what happens in the world. But you can control how you think, how you act, and how you respond. This shift in focus is the beginning of mental freedom. When you focus on your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you reclaim your power. Your thoughts shape your perspective. Your actions shape your future. Your reactions shape your emotional state. Instead of blaming others, you take responsibility for your inner world. Someone may insult you, but you choose whether to be offended. A situation may go wrong, but you choose whether to panic or adapt. Stoicism does not deny emotions, it teaches you to observe them without being ruled by them. You become the master of your mind, not a servant to external chaos. When your focus turns inward, nothing external can truly disturb you. Praise does not inflate you, and criticism does not break you. Success does not make you arrogant, and failure does not destroy you. You become grounded, stable, and calm in the middle of uncertainty. This inner stability is what makes Stoics appear unshakable. They understand that the world is unpredictable, but the mind can be disciplined. And when your inner world is strong, the outer world loses its power over you. By focusing on your own growth, self-discipline, and goals, you channel all that energy into building yourself. Your silence becomes sharper than any insult, your calm sharper than any argument, and your progress louder than any threat. In this way, you embody the revenge you once craved, without ever lowering yourself to the fight. Your discipline and consistency become your weapons. While others are busy trying to hurt you, you are busy improving, learning, and rising. Each day of focused effort, each achievement, and each moment of self-control becomes a testament to your resilience. Those who doubted you will eventually notice, not because you told them, but because they can see the results. Your presence, confidence, and success become a quiet but undeniable reminder that you are untouchable. You don't need to justify yourself, explain your actions, or prove a point. Your life speaks for itself. You don't need to destroy anyone. You only need to rise so high that they can no longer reach you. Elevation is the ultimate response, it leaves no room for resentment, no chance for conflict, and no satisfaction for negativity. By mastering yourself, you remove their influence entirely. They are left watching from below while you move forward, unstoppable and unshaken. In this way, the most profound revenge is not in harming others. It is in becoming so powerful, disciplined, and free that their doubts and insults cannot touch you ever again. So tell me in the comments, will you chase revenge, or will you become untouchable and let your success speak for you? Revenge is loud, but becoming untouchable is eternal. If you think I provide valuable content, please like this video, follow, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comment section. Your support helps this channel grow and brings you more powerful Stoic wisdom.